Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to do a very small rehouse of a tiny new addition. So this weekend just gone, my good friend Osman popped over to say hello. He had a couple of things to collect. He was meant to be coming out with us Saturday night, but unfortunately had a few things to deal with. So he just popped round to drop off a spider that I'd been waiting for delivery of, and take away a few sling vials for rehousing some slings that he had. So what are we rehousing today? Well, we're rehousing something I've wanted ever since I started the hobby and decided to get my first old world, and this was the one I wanted to get, but unfortunately I couldn't because we couldn't find them in the UK at all, and that is this, the Eucratoscelus pachypus, or pachypus, which is commonly known as the Stoutleg baboon. Super calm baboon spider for all accounts. The reason I wanted this is I was watching Tom Moran at the time, and Tom Moran was talking about his first old worlds and this and the other in his recommendations, and the Stoutleg was his top recommendation. And when you see a female Stoutleg, oh my god, they're just stunning, absolutely stunning. The males look very different, but the females, oh my god, those rear legs, absolutely awesome. So fingers crossed for this one. In fact, everything's crossed. We're going to rehouse it out of this. I'm going to get some other footage, but we're rehousing it out of this little vial into one of these tubs. Whoop, there goes the lid. This one is, I think, the 280ml tub, but we're going to rehouse it into that, and you'll see there's plenty of room in this. Now, this spider, even though it's a baboon, isn't going to be kept super dry. A bit more, not gigas like, but it's going to have a bit more moisture than your standard like OBTs, things like that. Going to keep it a little bit more moist. So I'm going to fill it up with some substrate, pack it down, give it some moisture through the substrate, and then we're going to get the spider across. So probably going to do this one on the desk because it's so small, but we'll get the camera turned, get it set up, and get the spider moved, shall we? I am not sure how much of this rehouse we're going to see, but what we are going to do is set up the enclosure first. So first thing we need is a little bit of substrate. This spider will bury itself if you give it the opportunity to, from what I understand, with regards to the videos from Tom Moran and people like that. There's not many videos on it, to be honest with you, but like I say, we do want to give it a little bit of moisture. So this substrate's quite dry, so I'll mix in a little bit of substrate, put some water in it first, put a little bit more substrate in, give that a mix, which is what we're going to do. Get my little mixing stick, and we'll give this a little bit of a smush around. What I've done slightly different to what I do with a lot of baboons on this one is I haven't put the holes all the way down low into the substrate. We've kept them higher. This spider, like again, when they bury, they'll dig the substrate up to the top, so we don't want to fill it too deep, but we do want to give it enough that it's got sort of room to hang around on the surface or bury itself if it chooses to. Just slightly below these air vent holes that are at the side, like around here. Pack it down a little bit, and what we'll do is we'll decide where we want to put the cork bark. Got a nice bit of cork bark here with a bit of lichen on it. Looks quite nice. Nice shape to it. And we'll put it opposite where this little notch is, because obviously I open the lids this way. So if I put the cork bark on the far side, I can normally look in and see, because spiders tend to go to where they can hide. So we put this opposite on the far side like this. Make it so that it's got like an area to dig underneath that if it chooses to. Try and sort of scoot a bit of soil around to hold and support this in place. Maybe a little bit around the back. Press that down. There we go. And the only other thing we're going to add, we'll add a tiny little tattoo pot, and we're also going to put in some leaf litter. So let's get this in. Water bowl we'll put near the front, and what I tend to do with these, hold it like that, just push it in, get it level with the soil a little bit. Let's move that across, make that look a bit nicer. And we get some leaf litter. Spider's very small, so we want to make this leaf litter tiny bit so we don't lose the spider in our vision. There we go, nice bit of leaf litter in there. As you can see, standard setup, and then hopefully when we get this spider across, it is a baboon, they are quick, we don't want this to go running off at super speed, so I'm probably going to get a little tray, put it in another tray, and then we will rehouse a spider. So give me 1 second. So much noise out of the window today, cars going everywhere. Right, so look, Braplast tub. All we do, we put that in. What this does, it just gives us a wall. So if the spider does decide to bolt, it will go in, out, and it'll end up in that bit. It gives me a bit of time if I need to catch it. But this one should be totally fine, to be honest with you. If I can get this lid open, that is. Unfortunately, the lid sort of snaps off a little bit. As you can see, look, the spider's tiny. This one's going to have absolutely plenty of room in here. And what we'll do is we'll turn the enclosure that way. See if we can get this one just to walk out into its new setup. Hopefully on camera. Tiny bit of grass. Brush it with the grass. Now you're hungry? You've got a massive abdomen. What are you doing? Chunky little monster. Let's go that way. Go this way. Right, come on. You can come out of here. Come on. That way. Its carapace is tiny compared to its abdomen. Again, the old classic, don't want to leave its home. But we will make you leave your home. It's a nice new home. Come on. This way? Oh, okay. See, I'm keeping contact with the spider so it doesn't bolt, regardless of which direction it decides to travel, which I've now got is holding with the foot. Right, let's just readjust a little bit. Come on. Come on. Let's go this way. Go forward. That way. Trust me, you'll enjoy this once you're out of here. You'll have far more room to explore. There you go. Go on. You don't need to... I know you've got your web in there, but you don't need to worry about that too much. You'll make new webbing. It's like kids going from junior school to senior school. They never want to do it. Once they're there, they find they make loads more friends. And they love it up there. Right, come on, let's go. That was a weird analogy. Come on, what are you doing? Let's go this way. Cool bark? No? You really don't want to leave this tub, do you? It's a tiny little tub, what are you talking about? Right, grass isn't doing its thing, we'll bring in the big guns. Right, let's get you down off there. Let's get you down off there, we don't want you falling. Come on. Yeah. Come on, a little bit more. That way. You felt the cork bar then, didn't you? Come on. Yes, it. Go on. Way. Don't come back up this way. Very carefully remove that. And we have the spider in, just on the edge of its cork bar, which is exactly what we wanted. So, a lovely calm baboon, which has now decided to go straight into its cork bark. But again, you set up, you prepare for things. If those things don't happen, then it's all good. But it's always better to be prepared if you're going to have a bolt of any shape or form, just to try and encourage them to stay where they are, or at least have some sort of like defence mechanism against it. This, if they decide to bolt at full speed, this is not going to stop them entirely, in their entirety I should say. But what's going to happen is they'll come up, spiders tend to bolt in bursts, so it'll bolt up the side, down the thing, probably stop down here when it reaches down here, rather than just onto the desk and disappear. It's not an ideal setup here. There's lots of places a spider can go and hide, but these are good lines of defence for stopping that happening. Anyway, that's the spider, guys. Right, let's get back to the end of the video, shall we? And there it is, the Eucratoscelus pachypus or pachypus, pachypus, or Stoutleg baboon. Stoutleg baboon seems like a lot easier to go with. People know what you're talking about. No one has to butcher the scientific name on that one, and it is the only one with Stoutleg in the name, so you're not going to get confused. Some common names do confuse because it could mean one or two species. In this case, that's not the case. So yeah, nice and easy one. Now, Tom Moran has a brilliant video on this spider, and he also has some good detailed information on his blog, which is Tom's Big Spiders. I'll put the link in below in the description. When I saw this, when I first got into the hobby, it was like, that's going to be my first old world. And then I was bitterly disappointed because getting hold of these in the UK was almost a non-starter. Very, very difficult, very, very rare to see. So when Osman said to me, would you like one, I can get hold of one for you, I jumped at the opportunity. I wasn't going to, and it was like, because I have no space here, as you can see, but this is a small sling, and with the growth of my spiders, the way the spiders will age and things, this spider isn't one of the largest species, so it should be okay. They just need deep substrate. From what I understand and reading, they'd like to dig vertical tunnels, and so giving them a depth of substrate will allow them to dig. They're a beautiful, beautiful spider, and hopefully, because they are sexually dimorphic, this one will be a female, because they're the ones that get huge, huge back legs. The males tend to look like many other baboon males, but the females do look very impressive. So fingers crossed for this one to turn out to be female. I think I've got a little while before you actually see the dimorphism, but yeah, I mean, the setup looks pretty basic. As long as it gets food, it has a place to dig, I'm sure it'll be alright for now. And that is it. That is the end of this video. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Osman. Thank you so much, dude, for bringing this over and seeing you at the weekend. It was awesome on Saturday. It's a shame that you couldn't come out with us, but it was nice to catch up with you at mine anyway. And I can't wait till I see you next time, buddy. So thanks a lot, guys. If you did like the video, please give it a like. Please give us a comment. Do you own one of these? Do you have a Stoutleg? What do you think of them? They look pretty cool as far as I'm concerned. Brilliant starter old world, as far as I'm led to believe. So as you can see, it was very calm. And that's it, guys. Anyway, we'll possibly catch up with you next week. Cheers.